Welcome to Collecting Chaos. It's Freeform Friday. I got a couple of things for you. I've got an experiment that I'm going to do, and I'm going to show you some comics that I'm going to put up in an auction before too long. Probably not this next week, but in a future auction, these will be going up. So, if that's what you want to watch, and I'm also going to discuss some of the directions I want the channel to head. If that's what you want to watch, don't go away. I'll be right back. Okay, as much as I know all of you like to see my experiments, I thought that I would start off with some of the comics that I'm going to put up for auction coming before too long. And they include, and I'm going to go through these fairly quick because I've got quite a few of them. But they do include Web of Spider-Man number 2. Let's see if I can get a good focus on these. If the cat doesn't knock everything over. That's not good. That's about as good as I'm going to get today, I think. My eyes are blurry. Web of Spider-Man number 3, and I'm going to probably put these in lots of 5s. Web of Spider-Man number 4. Web of Spider-Man number 5. Web of Spider-Man number 6. Web of Spider-Man number 7. Web of Spider-Man number 9, which has some nasty tape pulls and is in dire need of a press, so we'll just set that off to the side. Web of Spider-Man number 17. Web of Spider-Man number 18. And it's a little bit controversial, but they claim that this has the first cameo, or it has a cameo appearance, maybe not the first, maybe it'd be the second, of Eddie Brock. And the reason this is a little controversial, at least in my opinion, is apparently in one of the panels, Spider-Man is pushed in front of a train, and they are claiming that the hands that push him in front of the train belong to Eddie Brock. But from what I remember, the original story was of a woman. Yeah. From what I understand, this is not Eddie Brock's hands. This is actually a woman's hands that is apparently Spider-Man inadvertently caused the death of some of her family. So, but it's been retconned, so now it's Eddie Brock's hand. Yeah, apparently. I don't know. I don't read Spider-Man. Here's number 22. Number 24. This is the second Eddie Brock appearance. And I don't know if it's a full appearance or not. $25, $26, $27, $28, $29, $30, $32. This is part 4 of Kraven's Last Hunt. Love that cover, always have liked it. 33, 34, 35, 36. This has the first appearance of Tombstone. set these off to the side. I've still got more. Number 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, and apparently this has hobgoblin and demigoblin mixed in together. I don't understand that. I didn't read it. 49. When I stop and talk about a comic, it's because it's a minor key. 50, and this one surprises me because this isn't considered a key issue, and I would have thought it would. So I have a few other Web of Spider-Mans that I'll also be putting up for auction later on. Just a few. And we'll go through these later on. Maybe sometime. I don't know. But I wanted to show you these, because these are going to go up for auction before long too. And this is Web Spinner's Tales of Spider-Man. Number 1, and I have several of the number 1s, and I have the number 1 variant cover, which I think is a 1 in 5 variant. Number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5, and I don't know if any of those are keys or not. So that's some of the stuff that I'm going to be we'll get this one out and let you look at that for a little while. Maybe drool over it some. But now this is stuff that he's going to go up for auction. I don't want Spider-Man. I don't collect Spider-Man. There's no reason for me to have Spider-Man of any kind. So there's a couple of issues of Spider-Man that I'm going to keep, most notably those that have Black Cat on the cover, because I like Black Cat. And the Black Cat covers are usually pretty nice. But a few notes on where I'm going to go on the channel. I'm going to move the release dates of my videos from 7 a.m. Central Time to either 9 or 10 a.m. Central Time. And that's just for convenience sake, because I'm not always able to get them out on time. For instance, right now, I believe it's after 7 o'clock. Yeah, it's 7:30 right now. I'm just now recording this video. Normally I would have recorded it yesterday or the day before, but it didn't happen. And so I'll still do the Monday morning show, but it'll be moved to 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock, probably 10 o'clock. I'll still do the Eternal My Light Project on Wednesdays, and that is probably going to stay right where it is for 10 o'clock. I mean, I'm going to move them all to 10 o'clock, so that'll go to 10 o'clock on Wednesdays. And then this show, the Freeform Fridays, will go to 10 o'clock also. In addition, I'm going to try to go live once a week. And maybe I might show you some comics, I might show some interviews, I might just talk, answer questions. So there won't be any more Ask Chaos for Friday, and nobody sent me questions to answer anyway. Ask Chaos will be on the live show, so you can ask the questions in the chat, and I will answer them on stream. I'll try to have guests whenever I can. Maybe I'll do occasional auctions if I have enough people in the chat. Maybe I'll do an auction, of some sort. And I will continue to try to do auctions with comic book steals and deals on Wednesday evenings. That's going to be dependent on how his internet's going, because the last few times has been having trouble. So that's where the channel's going right now. Let's go to the next segment, which is going to be, I'm going to show you an experiment that I'm doing on some comics that it's going to make you mad that I'm doing experimenting on them. And I'm back. Now I have a couple of comics here, a couple of Star Wars comics, number 7 and number 8. Let that sink in for a minute. And I'm going to do a little experimenting on them. Now I will pause so that everybody that wants to scream, "No, not the Star Wars, you can't do that, that's sacrilege," to get it all out of their system, and then we'll continue. Okay, that should be enough time. These are in bad shape, okay? Make no mistake about it. They're good, maybe. You know, maybe good plus, maybe. This one, maybe good plus. It's got... I'll zoom in on it so you can see it really well. It's got a lot of ink scribble down here, and I don't like that. Now, I already experimented a little bit on number 7, and I got some of the ink scribble on it. You can still see some of it. I'm going to show you how I did that and continue on this one. I don't feel bad about experimenting on these. I mean, look, the cover has a nasty rip in it, and actually the whole comic, the first page has a nasty rip in it too. I might go ahead and tape that. I might not. I don't care. I don't know what I'm going to do. But we're going to see about getting this ink off of here, the remainder of that ink off of there. They really scribbled hard with a ballpoint pen, and it goes almost all the way through. But I just want to make them look a little more presentable. I will auction these off, or attempt to. If I get no bids, I have somebody that I know that would love to have them. And I'll just get them to that person. Not give, get them, is what I said, because they have made me a small offer. I'm not going to. The amount that I start the bidding at will be what they offered. Okay? So, there you go. And to get this off, we're going to try some acetone. This is just regular fingernail polish remover, 100% pure acetone. I'm not going to mix it with water or anything. We're just going to go with straight acetone. And I have another experiment I want to try with that. Now you notice I have a backing board in there. And we're just going to put it on there. And I probably should do this with the other one first. And I am soaking it pretty good. And a little bit of the ink comes off each time I do this, so. And some of it bleeds right through to the other side and onto the backing board. But I'm going to set this one off to the side to dry. And I'm going to get this one out because the ink is easier to see on it. Can I get a... No, that's the best I'm going to get on that. Get another old backing board. This one I'm going to use the brown side instead of the white side. Put it in there. And I'm using a Q-tip. And we're just going to see what it'll do. And as you can see, or maybe not, the Q-tip does have some blue on it. It is taking some of it off. Get another one. The question is, what does the acetone do to the paper? And what will it do to the old ink on the comic? And I'm going to ask that question of Rick over at Immaculate Comics and see if he'll give me the scientific breakdown on it. You know, give me the chemical rundown on what it does to the ink. And am I screwing up by doing this, or am I doing it okay, or is it all right? But it is definitely removing some of the ink. Now let me check underneath. And you can see some of it's bleeded through there, so we'll get that off too somehow. I'm going to go get a paper towel and put under that, and then hopefully some of that ink that bleeds through will just bleed right into the paper towel. Will be right back. Alright, I'm back. I put the paper towel under there already. And let's take a look at this. It's nice. See if we can't get some more of this off of there. Now right now I'm just keeping it in the white portion into that box. But I am curious as to what it will do. And every time I do this, it takes off a little more ink. I'm sure you've noticed that it's fading. Oops. Alright, I think I'm going to let this one dry for a bit. And go back to the other one again. That's faded it pretty nicely. Take this paper towel and put it under here. I don't know what possessed me to decide to try to use acetone for this. I do use acetone sometimes to remove stickers, you know, price stickers from toys. I've never used it for this before. Like I said, each time I do it, it seems to take a little more of it off. And let that dry, because I want to try something else. There they are. Yeah. That's what I want to try, just to see what it's going to do to the comic. Scream now. Now is the time to scream. It did take some of the ink off, I think. Definitely took some of the ink off of the page. I do not recommend cleaning comic books with acetone. It smeared it pretty good. But like I said, I mean, it's good at best, so experimenting with it doesn't bother me in the slightest. But it's removing this ink nicely. I mean, you can still see it. It's still there. It's not going to ever completely go away. I wonder what this will do to it. Let me try some of this. This is Goof Off Pro Strength Remover, Asphalt Tar, Dried Latex Paint, Adhesive, and Glue. I got that for a different reason, but I'm going to give it a shot here. Give me another. Let's see what it does. Soak down a Q-tip with it, and I'm going to go right here on the corner, and it doesn't, and it takes the ink off also. Okay, that's good to know. Good to know. Now I'm curious as to what it'll do to this blue ink. It dries a lot slower, I know that. Yep. Don't use Google or Goof Off on your comic books, people. It will take the ink off. I think that's enough. You can still see it, but it's a whole lot better than it was. And like I said, I'll throw these up for auction for, you know, like $1 a piece, and if anybody wants them, great, they can bid over that. If they don't bid at that, if they don't go at least over that, then I won't be selling them to them. I'll be passing them on at that price to somebody else. But the acetone definitely, it seems to work at taking off ballpoint pen. Not completely, but fading it enough to where it's tolerable. There's some bleed through on this side. I wonder if I can get that out. Apparently the answer was yes, I can. Well, there you go. Acetone removes most of the ink. You can still see the creases. I'm going to give this a press and make it look a little tiny bit better before I put it up for auction next week. And this will be next week. Like I said, if I don't want people to bid on it just because they feel sorry and they want to sell it. I want people to bid on it because they honestly want the copies. I'm going to start the bidding a little higher than that person is offering me, simply because I don't want to sell it for that same price that they're offering me. I want to get more out of it, or just let them have it. So that's what we're going to do. Now, don't forget, before you handle your comics and before you try to do anything with them, you know, like remove the ink or press or whatever you're going to do with your comics, don't handle them until after you've washed your hands. It's good for your comics, it's good for your health, and we'll see you next video. Bye.